Um, Welcome to the day three of our personal growth week. I appreciate everyone that's been following us since on Tuesday. Thank you so much for following us. Okay, so quickly today, we're not going to waste your time. If you are joining us live, thank you for joining. If you are watching the recorded version, also thank you for stopping by. Now, the goal for this event is to, like I said yesterday, to help some people who are stuck in their career, their personal life, their relationship in business. They are stuck and looking for a way out, looking for how to improve and get better results in whatever they do. So that's why I put this event together, because one of the things where we believe is your personal growth or your personal development impact highly on your success on your job, success on your business and your career generally. So we want to help you grow above the challenges that you face so that you can achieve the result that you desire. So today I'm having an expert in the house to talk to us on the steps and strategies on how to create or how to engage in personal growth activities. I'm going to bring her up and I also allow her to talk more about herself, what she does, and how she has been helping people, improve their lives in especially women in business. Because I know she's involved in WinBees, which is Women in Business and Management. Women in Management and Business. She's involved there and she's a mentor there also. So I'll bring her up. Her name is Foluso Gbadamosi. Okay. So Foluso, can
Hi,
you hear me clearly?
everyone.
Hello. Hello. Thank you so much for. I know you are so tired. You had a busy day. Thanks so
Yeah.
much for accepting my invite. So please tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us what you want to talk to us about today.
Okay, so thank you so much for having me. Good evening, everyone. I'm really glad to be here as part of the Personal Growth Week. I'm a big, big fan of personal growth. So when Sydney extended this invitation to me, I could not say no. So just a little bit about myself. My name is Foluso Gbadamosi. I'm an IT professional. I have degrees in computer science and information technology. So I'm a techie. I'm a tech head. I currently work for an oil and gas company called Prime Atlantic, and I'm in charge of our business processes and our technology units. So what do I do? I do a lot of things. I'm involved in quite a few organizations that you could say are very much related to people and their personal development. So like Sydney mentioned earlier, I'm an executive council member of Women in Management, Business and Public Service, WIMBIZ in Nigeria. I am also a mentor to quite a few people. I'm also on the board of a few companies, especially companies that are trying to kind of grow to like that next level. So quite a lot of startups. So that's really it about me in a nutshell. So I'm talking to you guys tonight about strategies and critical steps to personal growth. Okay. So I'm going to talk about this from my perspective because I do feel like a lot of us have different views and perspectives on this. So from my perspective, personal development is very, very holistic. Personal growth, personal development. It is not just about your career or about your business. It's actually holistic. It covers almost every area of your life because you have to be a well-rounded person for you to truly be, happy and to be truly fulfilled. So I saw this definition on the internet that I quite liked. It said personal development slash growth involves the mental, physical, social, emotional, and spiritual growth that allows the person to live a productive and satisfying life. I really like that definition because I feel like it covers all the different aspects of personal growth. Because, like I said earlier, I don't think personal growth is just about your career or about your business. So let's start this way. For me, I have learned the hard way that growth is not automatic. So I think that a lot of us make the assumption that growth is automatic. Because maybe when you were in school, you would go to class, you would learn. So you just make the assumption that growth is automatic. I'm here to tell you, friends, in case you didn't know, that growth is not automatic. There is nothing automatic about growth after a certain age. Maybe when you were younger, and you were in secondary school, or you were in primary school, or you were even in university where you had a course, and there was a whole path charted before you, maybe then. But right now, if you are working, if you are, building a business, building a career, then you know that it's not automatic. The other thing about personal growth for me is that you need to own it, okay? I get very frustrated when I hear people saying stuff to me like, oh, I've not gone on training for years. And I ask them, oh, why? And they say, my company hasn't sent me on training. It really, really blows my mind. We need to take personal growth so seriously, and we need to own it. Nobody can grow on your behalf. Your company cannot grow on your behalf. Even the trainings that your company might send you on might not necessarily be all that you need to grow to. So it's very, very important that you own your growth. You own it, and you don't let anybody make you feel like you cannot own your growth. So for instance, as we go along, you see how you need to figure out what the gap areas in your life are and how you need to start developing a personal growth plan for that. For me, the biggest part about personal growth is that it's not about being smart. Personal growth and the levels that you rise to after you are done with school, really, a lot of it is not really about being smart. For me, it's about being intentional. I love the word intentional because it just encompasses so many things. So for me, it's not about being smart, it's about being intentional. So for me, the biggest umbrella for this whole topic today is be intentional, be intentional, be intentional. Be intentional about your life, about your personal growth, your career, and all areas of your life. The ability for you to be intentional is what is going to separate you from the followers. That's the truth. Leaders are intentional people who do not let anybody, take control of their path in life. So, for instance, if you're working in a company right now and you feel like they are not taking you on trainings, they're not taking you along the right course, what stops you from, taking some training courses on your own? What stops you from investing in yourself? What stops you from planning every single year that, this year I want to go on 3 training courses, I want to attend 3 conferences, I want to go for so and so number of networking events, just your own personal growth plan that suits you. So not the one that suits Sydney or suits Foluso, but the one that suits you based off of where you are going in your life. So I guess that you could also say that for you to have a personal growth plan, it's important that you have a vision. And when I say vision, I don't want you to think, oh, vision is this huge, like scary thing. What I mean by vision is just that you are able to see a destination, right? So even if it's 2 years or 3 years, like for instance, if you're working in a company right now, and you are an entry level staff, I would expect that at some point, your plan is that you would get to the mid-level. You would want to become a manager, right? So you having that vision should also help you figure out what kind of growth plans you need as a person. So by the end of this, I would like us all to really dig into creating our own personal growth plans. And our personal growth plans, just like I said, they are personal to us. It doesn't have to be something that anybody else understands. It just has to be yours, and you just have to own it. So let's start with honesty. So the first thing that you need to do on this journey is you need to be completely, brutally honest with yourself. When I say this, I mean, I don't want you to, tell yourself a fairy tale about where you currently are when you know that that's not where you are. So for instance, if you're an accountant and you're trying to get like your professional exams done, really identify exactly where you are right now on that journey. Do you need to get a tutor? Do you need to pay somebody to come and, teach you? If you can't afford to pay somebody, can you do like a trade by barter deal with a friend? Do you need to go and buy some books? Do you need to look for some online courses, because you are not quite ready for those exams? You need to be very, very honest with yourself. Also, if you know that you want to get to maybe like the C-level suite of an organization, why don't you start speaking to people that are there, asking them questions about, oh, how did you get there? What did you have to do? And start thinking about ways that you can incorporate some of the things that they might have done that would benefit you into your own life. So the next thing then is the self-audit/assessment. So I'm very, very, very big on self-audit and assessment because I feel like a lot of us are not honest enough with ourselves about the reality of where we are in our lives. We're not really honest about even where we are in our career and even in our businesses. So what does this self-audit do? It helps you to really drill down on who you are, why you are the way you are, and some of the things that you need to do. So I would start this with a personality test. There's many, many, many personality tests online. They are free. I would recommend that you do one. It helps you to understand the way that you process things. It would actually help you even at work and even in your business, because what happens is that when you start to understand and accept yourself, it makes it so much easier for you to relate to others. It makes it so much easier for you to even understand the reason why you act a certain way sometimes. And you're also able to, identify your triggers and just be a better person, more balanced in your behavior and all that. So, for instance, some people have issues at work because maybe they're having friction with people. It could actually just be that you and that other person are completely opposite, and that you need to do a better job of managing your different personalities. So, I really recommend that you do a personality test. There's a lot of them online. The one that I like the best though is the 4 temperaments one. It's pretty basic, it's old school, everybody kind of knows about it. That's the one that says, whether you're sanguine, phlegmatic, melancholic, or choleric. And there's some free tests online that you can do. You could also read this book called Why You Act the Way You Do by Tim LaHaye. It's a really good book. It talks about your personality type after you've taken the test, and it drills down on different areas of your life and the reason why you might be acting certain ways, and just kind of teaching you how to manage yourself as an individual better. Yeah. Now, the next thing as part of this assessment, since we're kind of focused on career and business, is for you to really look at your career and ask yourself the very honest questions. Some of us study things in school that we do not want to do as work. That's the truth. I have many friends who have studied, for instance, medicine, and they are not practicing, and they have no desire to practice. I've got a friend who studied medicine, and right now she runs like a monogram business, which is doing really well. I have another friend who also studied medicine. She's a medical doctor as well. And right now, what she's doing is she has a school, and she's also running an NGO to educate teachers to make them better. Now, for me, this career plan and this whole audit is for you to really ask yourself if you really want to do what it is that either you studied in school or what it is that you are doing right now. So, for instance, if you're working in an organization and you're currently in the HR unit, but you want to go to legal, or you want to go into finance, or you want to go into admin, or you want to even go into business development or marketing or sales, you need to tell yourself the truth and you need to start working towards it. I know so many people who started in organizations as maybe a receptionist, maybe a lawyer, and now they are CEOs of their own companies because they were able to identify what they liked from when they were early in their career, and they were able to use that to chart a path. Now, everybody might not have that, linear path. In fact, I think very few people in careers have a linear path. I think a lot of people tend to kind of just jump around and figure out where exactly they would land, especially in this newer generation, not in the older generation, where they kind of stuck, to the same career for quite a while. So it's very important that you're very honest with yourself, completely honest with yourself about the kind of things that you want to do, and start building a career plan out of that. You might also want to build an education plan and a training plan, but I'll talk about that more a bit later. For me, the training plan is extremely, extremely important, because what happens is that as you are working in an office, or as you're running your business, if you're not careful, you could very easily get caught up and just stop growing as far as knowledge in either your chosen field or even other fields go. So you're just doing operations every day. You're running a business, you're in your career, you're doing your day-to-day tasks, your routine tasks, and you sometimes forget that you actually have to grow intentionally. So you need to start, thinking about ways that you can create a training plan depending on where you are headed. So that's the first thing for me. That's the first section. The second section for me is your strengths and your weaknesses. Now, part of being honest is being able to tell yourself what the truth about yourself is, right? So we are not strong in everything, and we're not weak in everything. Everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. And the whole essence of this is that these things all kind of complement each other, right? So for instance, you might be in a workplace where somebody has a strength that you don't have, and you guys can very easily complement each other. However, if you don't accept and acknowledge that those are your strengths and your weaknesses, you would not want to even get help, because you might be thinking that you can do everything, you're kind of like a like a superpower, or like a superman, or a super woman. So for this area about the strengths and weaknesses, I would like you to just ask yourself a few questions. The first one is this: what is your superpower? What is the one thing that you do better than everybody else, no matter how random it is? It can even be something as random in your mind as, oh, I'm the one that's always smiling at people in the office. Everybody comes to me when they need to be encouraged. Everybody comes to me when they are sad. Things that you don't think are important, but are actually good things. Write that down. What are you good at? What do you find easy to do? What are your strengths? All these three are pretty much the same question. What is your strength? What do you find easy to do? And what are you good at? You can also ask your loved ones and ask some of your colleagues to also help you answer these questions in case you are not able to come up with it on your own. Next question is, what are you terrible at? What do you find difficult to do? What are your weaknesses? Next question is, what do your colleagues, your family, your friends reach out to you for? What is that thing that everybody always says, oh, you are the one that can do it? And whenever they want to do it, they always reach out to you. Next one is, what do you happily outsource to other people? Now, the things that you happily outsource to other people might be your weaknesses, right? They might be the things that you are not so good at, and you shouldn't feel bad about that, because essentially what you should be working towards is strengthening your strength. So part of your personal growth plan should be that you are working on strengthening your strength. It's very difficult for your weaknesses to become something that you are great at. You can be good at it, but you don't have to be great at it. But it's important that you highlight your strengths so that you can also complement others easily, whether it's at work, in business, or in other areas. If you run your own business, knowing your strengths is so helpful because it helps you with hiring staff. I was saying to someone last week about how, when you think about most of the great inventors, people like Mark Zuckerberg, in these recent times, and all those kind of guys like Steve Jobs and them, a lot of those guys are not operations guys, they are ideas guys. They churn out ideas a dime a dozen, but they are not operations guys. So they cannot do HR, they cannot do the daily running of the organization, they cannot do your admin, your finance, all that, but they are ideas guys. And you will notice that a lot of those guys then go and hire very, very smart people that will then come and run their operations. So for instance, at Facebook, you have their COO, Sheryl Sandberg, who is a seasoned professional, who is running their operations. You won't see Mark Zuckerberg telling you that he's going to be running the daily operations of Facebook because he knows that that's not his strength. So we have to be able to, just embrace our strengths, our superpowers, and not feel bad about them, and don't feel bad like, oh, why am I not good at this? It's okay. You were created that way for a reason, So just go ahead and strengthen those strengths as part of your, personal training plan as well, and make sure that you don't get too bogged down in trying to make your weaknesses into your strengths. So those are the questions that I would like you to ask yourself, as far as that section goes. Now, all in all, for me, for your personal growth, you've got to be well balanced, So I'm not somebody of the school of thought of, oh, it all has to be about your education and about your business. I think that it's literally every single part of our life that kind of sums up to the whole, So we're all like, like sums, but we are all parts of the whole, essentially, right? So our next section is going to talk about where we are and where we're trying to get to, but it's going to use some areas that I personally use every year when I'm creating my vision board, when I'm creating my personal training plan for the year, my personal growth plan, and all that. So I like to cover all these different sectors, but I'm going to do them, just in two ways. So the first one is, with all the sections that I'm going to mention, I would like you to really truly ask yourself where you are right now and where you're trying to get to. So what are your gaps? Because it's when you know your gaps that you're able to fill them. If you don't know that you have a gap, even if somebody is standing in front of you with a free training or with a freebie, you won't even know that you should take it because frankly, you don't know that you have that gap. So you need to be able to identify your gaps and be honest with yourself about your gaps. The next thing is you need to be able to know the places for you and the places for others. So during this personal growth development plan, some things involve you, some things involve others. The things that involve others usually have to do with things like, like your bosses at work, your mentors and all that. Let me just quickly pitch in about mentorship. I think mentorship is so very important. Mentorship is important for many reasons. And one of the biggest reasons is because you are able to learn from somebody who has gone ahead of you. There are different types of mentors. There's informal mentors, there's formal mentors. Whichever one you choose, I want you to just know that you need to have people that have gone ahead of you that you can look up to, that you can learn from, because who wants to make the same mistake twice, right? I know that I don't. I'd rather learn from somebody and do better. Okay, the different So we have well-being and health. And these are my different categories, so you can choose to tweak them as you like. So I have well-being and health, I have achievement and success, I have contentment and peace, I have career, I have friendship, I have spirituality. With me, I actually have my personal development separate from career, only because I think that your personal development is beyond your career, right? So there might be some parts of your personal development that are involved, that your career or your business involves, but it's not always the case because there might be other areas of your life that you're trying to develop in. So like your finances is another section. What do you do for fun, recreation, and rest? What's your plan for that? What is your personal development plan for that? If you're married, your family slash your home, your marriage. So your marriage, your family, your home. If you're, single and you're dating, your relationship. I think it's very important that you are able to, go through all these different sections so that you know exactly what it is that you need to work on. So what you will do then is that you will write where you currently are and where you're trying to get to. And you write that in a very honest way that you're able to build a chart of personal development for each of those different sections. Yeah. Okay. I'm looking at a question on the screen right now. Seriously working on that now. Yes. So the thing about honing in on our skills as well. There's a question on the screen that I'm just going to quickly address. Our skills are wonderful, they are great, but if you are not careful, you could end up just becoming somebody that does not seem to be on a journey, right? Like you're kind of just all over the place. I believe that we need to have a plan even for those our skills. Now, the other thing about our skills is this, is your skills also need to get developed, right? So even if you're naturally good at something, so you have a natural talent in something, some people are just really good at math, so they tend to like finance and things like that. Some people are naturally good at relationships with people, so they tend to go into HR. But the truth is that if you don't develop those skills, then you will not be able to be the best that you were created to be in those different areas. Yeah. Okay. There's another question here. It says, should you seek a mentor for each facet, like financial, spiritual, professional, or more like a general life coach slash confidant? This is a great question. So I don't think that this question is actually dependent on the person. So for instance, let's say that you are a young single person. You could be more inclined towards getting just a professional mentor, like somebody that just kind of mentors you, on your career path, and maybe like some personal things as well. But what I found is that as people kind of rise up the ladder, they need different mentors for different things. Or you might be fortunate enough to be able to get somebody that can mentor you in all these different things. But personally, I'll tell you, for me, I have like 3 or 4 different mentors for different things. So I have my mentor that is for everything in my life. Like she keeps me grounded on every area. Then I have people that are more spiritual mentors. Then I have people that are more professional mentors, because for my professional field, my general mentor is not particularly the best for that. So I have somebody that is for my profession as well. So it really depends on you, and it really depends on your plan. It depends on where you're trying to get to. And that's why it's very important that we identify our gaps, because the identification of those gaps would actually help you know what kind of mentor you need to get, right? So what I would expect is that while you guys are working on, on this yourself, on this personal growth plan yourself, is that you begin to identify the different areas in your life that you need help, right? Because the truth is that we all need help. So for instance, as you're going through your area of health like finance, you might see that, oh my goodness, in finances I'm terrible, and you might need help there. Somebody else's own might be, you know what, it's with my career, like I'm just a mess. Somebody's own might be, you know what, even just with my well-being and my health, like I'm terrible in that. Point is, you need to be able to identify the areas that you need the help in so that you're actually able to get the correct help. Yeah? Now, another thing that I would like you all to know is that for you to become an expert on a subject, this is has been widely studied, and you can research it on as well. If you spend 1 hour a day, every day for the next 5 years on a subject matter, you will become an expert at it, or in it, or on it, however you want to say. So this just goes to show the reason why we have to be intentional, right? Is because for you to really be good at something, you've got to intentionally put your heart into it, your mind into it. You've got to plan for it. Growth is not accidental. It doesn't just happen. You don't just grow by accident. You don't just grow automatically. So you have to be very intentional. about your personal growth. You need to make sure that you're doing all the things that need to be done for you to get to where you need to go. So I hope that I've been able to kind of cover my own personal steps. I'll give you some personal examples. So for instance, I realized I think last year, at some point last year, that I had a huge gap in finance. Huge gap. I realized this because I was getting on some more boards of companies, and I realized that the finance knowledge that I had was not enough for where I was trying to go and where I know I'm going. And so what I did was quite simple. I paid for a course. Now, the funny thing about this thing is that I have actually been scheduled to go on finance courses slash trainings before. But because I love math, but I don't like finance. So because of that, I always just found a way to avoid it. But guess what? Last year, I had to pay with my own personal money because I realized that I had a gap and that gap would become detrimental to me. So, guys, we don't want our gaps to become detrimental to us. That is why we have personal growth plans. When you have a vision and you can see, and you can kind of chart the course of your career or your business, you need to identify those gaps and start filling them. You don't need to be the best finance person, right? But at least if you are either running a business or you want to run a business one day, or you're sitting on boards of companies, you need to have a basic understanding of finance such that you can even read financial statements and things of that nature. And that's just one example. There's so many other examples, of different areas that if we identify gaps in that we need to work on. Another area for me that I've been very intentional about growing is my reading habits. So for me, for you to grow and grow well, you must make an attempt at reading. Now, I'm not saying that you need to become like a reading ways, like people that tell you that they read 5 books a week and all that. No, but you need to start identifying the kinds of topics and the kinds of authors that suit you and suit your own personal growth plan, and you need to start reading up on them. So even if you don't want to read like a whole book, you could read an article, you could go online. I think that we're so blessed these days because we have the opportunity to just go on Google, and do a search, and you get all the information about somebody. Unlike back in the days when we had to go to the library, and look through all the different racks and look for books. Now you can literally just go on Google a topic or Google a person, and you get all that information. So as part of your personal growth plan, I would love you to please develop some sort of plan for just getting better educated on things through reading. And it can be articles, it can be books, but just make sure that you're reading. Make sure that you don't ever outsource your personal growth to anybody. Never ever. Even if you're working in a company and the company has a career path for you, that's excellent. It helps your career, it helps your personal growth plan in your career. But as far as your personal growth, like for you holistically, please never outsource it to anybody. Own it, own it, own it, own it. Realize that it's not automatic. Realize that it's not accidental, that it's something that you have to choose to do on your own. And you know what? Save as well. I know a lot of people who would like to, go to school for certain courses or do certain courses that they find expensive. But one thing I always tell people is that what we think is important, our money will go there. Because I know that when it comes to things that we think are important, for instance, maybe the way that we look, maybe like our clothes or like our hair, we spend money on that. So why can't we make a plan to save towards some of the courses that we think are important? If you think that a course is important, then you just have to budget and plan for it. So it's all part of you owning your life, owning your own personal growth, and not expecting that anybody is going to do it for you. Yeah. So that's it from me for now. I hope that I've been able to help you with some of my personal tips as to how I've been able to create my, personal growth plan and the critical steps and strategies that I've used towards my own personal growth. I'm open now for questions. So if anybody has any questions, please go ahead and feel free to ask.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this is mind blowing, really. Practical, like the topic read, practical, easy steps that one can take. I have a question here. You made mention of something that I know works, and that's what worked for me. So I'll give you a short story. So I desired to go into the field of consulting and public speaking, and I, it's not my background. My background is in computer science. However, I do wanted to do it because I knew is something I can do and something that I love. But one of the things I did was to get a mentor, and the mentor relationship I had with my mentor transformed my life. So I can say it with a passion, say it with a conviction that mentorship is critical to our personal growth, even
Yeah.
to our professional. I
Yes.
can say that with from personal experience. So I want to quickly ask, what should one look out for in a mentor? Because get mentorship now is becoming a buzzword. People are beginning to study about it, talk about it, but I see people making mistakes. They don't really know exactly what to look out for when they are sourcing for mentorship relationship with someone. So what is that one thing that one should be looking out for trying to get a mentor?
Okay. Thank you so much, Sydney, for giving us that example and for confirming the importance of mentorship. Um,
Yeah,
so I think that when you're looking for a mentor, the first thing that you need to know is that the mentor is so you're not outsourcing your life to your mentor, right? You are still owning everything, but just like you've now found somebody who has gone ahead of you that can kind of guide you. So your example was so excellent. You know, you found a mentor in the field that you were trying to advance into, and that
yeah,
benefited you greatly. So for me, when you're
yeah,
looking for a mentor, don't just look for any big name person. You know, I find people, oh, I want Aliko Dangote to be my mentor. I want Femi Opitedola to be my mentor. You know, people that you see their names inside newspapers, so you make the assumption that you want them to mentor you. It needs to be more intentional than that. You know, everything is not just about what you see. It should be literally what are my needs. So what I like about the example that you just gave is that you literally did a needs assessment. You wanted to
yeah,
become something, right?
yeah,
And you had never
yeah.
studied it before, and you found somebody that was doing it, and the person started to mentor you. I think it's just that simple. I think it's identifying the gap and then determining the best person to fill that gap. And that person might not be a big name person. It might even be somebody in your office that you have seen is very diligent in that particular area or that particular field. Or you just like how that person maybe, as an example, let's say they're looking for like a family mentor, like to kind of just help you, with just dealing with, career, family, and all that. You could just see somebody that you love the way the person manages their career and their family. And the person is just somebody in your office that nobody even knows. And that can become your mentor, So it's not about big names. It's not about outsourcing your life to somebody else. It's not about also, getting somebody that you just got there because they seemed like the right person to get. It's once again, it's about being intentional and about identifying what exactly it is that you're looking for a mentor for, and then looking around you, your own networks to the best person that can fill that gap.
Fantastic, fantastic. I thought so too, because I see a lot of young people who want someone to mentor them, but they're looking for somebody who is glamorous, somebody who is flashy, somebody with big names. So for me, when I was looking for a mentor, I went to someone who didn't have the big name then. However, he showed to me to be someone who has overcome a lot of obstacles to get to where he was at. So, and I know if I go to him, he will be able to tutor me and teach me how he overcame his own obstacles, and I'll know how to go about mine. So, but today he's a big name, and when people hear that he's my mentor, the first thing they think, oh, okay, it's because he's the mentor, you made him your mentor. But that is not it really. If I see him now, I know people will be like, oh, really, he's your mentor. So my mentor actually is me at this point. He has been mentoring me for the past 14 years. I have
Wow.
seen him grown. He has seen me grown too. So yeah, I think your answer is up and correct. People should not look out for big names. You should look out for somebody who has gone the path that you want to take.
Yes.
So that person can show you, okay, this is what I did, this is what I didn't do, these are the places you should step, you should not step. Really, thank you so much. Let me check online while we have more questions, and I'll shoot them to Okay. All right. Presently, no question. I think if there are any other question, they should just put it there on the chat and their answers to them. Thank you so much, Felicia. I appreciate this. I wish we could spend more time to talk about this. I saw how you spoke about it with passion, and would like one of these days even host you physically in our master classes.
Hello? I'm so sorry. I missed that because the line was a bit choppy.
Oh, okay. I guess your network. Thank you so much for coming our webinar, and one of these days we can host you physically in one of our master classes.
That would be awesome. Thank you so much. And let me just quickly
Thank
just reiterate this. I really want to
you.
reiterate the fact that, everybody really needs to own their life, own their career, own their journey, like don't feel like there's anything that is not possible, because the truth is
Mm,
that there's so many people that have charted different courses that nobody ever imagined that they would. Some people started out as doctors and as lawyers, and they're doing something that is the complete opposite now. So I just really want people to understand that the power is actually in their hands. Don't outsource your career development and all that to your organization. Don't outsource it, even to your boss. Yes, your boss can definitely give you input, so can your organization, but you need to own it. I know that I keep saying, own it and be intentional, but I keep saying that because I've encountered so many people that are not owning it and are not being intentional. And I don't know if it's, if it's a cultural thing, if it's maybe something that they've been taught. But whatever the case may be, it's important that we realize that every leader that we admire, everybody who's actually doing big things as a leader, a good leader, has owned their personal growth and has been very intentional about their development. They didn't just wait around for somebody to just come and, hand them training courses or hand them work. They are actively developing themselves even on the job. You'll be shocked to find out how many people actually spend so much money training themselves, even though their company is sending them on training, because there might be some gaps that you identify that your company might not agree with. So please, I would love for you all to really own your personal growth. I'd love for you to realize that growth is not automatic. Like, don't ever think that it's accidental. Oh, you just grow like that. No, if you don't own it, you won't grow. That's truth. And you have to just understand that you have so much power. And I wish you all the best. Thank you, Sydney. Thanks for
Thank,
having me.
thank you so much. God bless you. Have a good night rest.
All right. Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining us today. Yes, all the points I'll try to show some of them on the screen are powerful points. I like to take note of them and apply them. See, your personal growth is your responsibility. Your life is your responsibility. I'm sure I've quoted this quote once in a while. My life is in my hands. My life is in my hands. What it means is the responsibility for your development, the responsibility for your success, the responsibility for your advancement is in your hands. It's not in the hands of anybody. No matter what role they play in your life, the ball is still in your court. If you don't move, nothing will move. Do not think that because they are not sending me for trainings, I will just sit back nothing will happen. See, at the end of the day, it still comes back to you. Yeah, if you're not performing, the company allow you to go. If you are not performing, your business will not grow. So take responsibility for your growth and do not outsource anything at all. It's okay to ask people for advices, to ask for questions, but you see, the major thing which is taking actions, knowing what to do and knowing what direction to go is your responsibility. Thank you very much. I'm happy that you joined this live webinar. I am already getting inspired, motivated, excited. I think we'll be having this every week, having bringing in one class to talk to us on how we can grow ourselves. I am all about personal growth because I think the success you experience in business, in your family life, in your career, solely dependent on how fast or how how well you are growing personally. It takes a better person to operate in any role, well. So I am big on personal growth, and I'm going to bring personal growth resources to you on this channel every week. Thank you very much, and have a good night rest. Bye bye.